350 to 500 kids every afternoon. So I want you to understand that's the commitment of the Lumbee tribe. We intend to make a difference in these kids' lives. We intend to try to get them off the streets. We intend to try to get them through high school. You know, there's one thing, speaking to my elders, when they get across that stage at the 12th grade, but still reading at the 6th and 7th grade level, we intend to do something about that. We intend to do something about the drug problems. Then you say, well, we've got the Boys and Girls Club, that's a good thing. We bring them in, we feed them, and we ask volunteers to come in. If you don't do nothing else, talk to the pastor. If they don't do nothing else but come in and tell them a Bible story, tell them something about the love of Jesus, help them with their homework, then we teach them some culture. But that's not enough. There's a group of kids who are losing. There's a group of kids who are losing, Dad. You know what I'm talking about. It's these kids, especially with one parent in the home. They're at a disadvantage. Then that parent gets hung up in situations, by probably more likely because of the people they're hanging out with. They get in the drug scene, and they get into the partying scene, and they're left at home. And then some neighbor or somebody, some of the family say, we've got to do something with this kid. Then they call in DSS. Well, let me tell you something. That's about like expecting a school teacher to raise our children at home. They need help. And this is all this is about. What can we do to help the foster care program at DSS? What can the community do to enhance that, make their lives a whole lot easier? Because this is our babies. We've got to break some barriers of mistrust. We've got to overcome some policies that state DSS has got on local DSS that kind of puts tribal members, not only tribal members, but the local community to the side. We've got to figure out how we can work around this process to make the foster care program in Robeson County and Scotland Company the best in the state. We've got to figure out how we can get those little Lumbee kids into the best foster care homes preacher that we can find. And you know one thing I'll tell you, as long as we keep the churches involved, we're going to be all right. If the churches they don't buy into this program, it's not going to work. Because in the land of Lumbee, unless you get the churches involved, it's just not going to work, Pastor. If the churches doesn't believe in reaching out in that community, it's not going to work. The churches know their local community better than anybody else. That's where you're going to get the word of mouth out about what we're trying to do here. That's the reason I'm so glad to see so many church members here today. Because you want to be able to get the word out, hey, this is what we're trying to do. But we can't do it without you. There's always you. We've got to have you. Now, we've got to support all the county commissioners and some other things going on, but everything's going to be good. Everything's going to be good. But from the bottom of my heart, standing here representing 55,000 Lumbees, I can't thank you for what this means to me to have you here this morning. You didn't have to come. You've been somewhere else, officer. I appreciate you being here. You got crime going on, but you decided to come here. This is this important to you. Brother, I appreciate that. To reach out and just say, hey, I love everybody. We're going to try to make this thing work. And appreciate each and every one of you like that. Now, there's going to be some kids walking around here taking pictures. I don't want to scare you. But I was just informed last night that our website is about hitting. We're getting close to 500,000 hits, visitors each month. So now we've got the capacity to get the word out of what you're doing here today. They'll say, y'all look good here today. Don't be asleep and we'll get you. Why was she doing her sleep? Is that amazing? All those 500,000 members of the LumbeeTribe.com website each month. That shows you the enthusiasm and support this tribe is generating out here, and it's because of you. Now, will this pilot program work? Yeah. Do we have the structure to make it work? Yes. But it comes down to each individual doing their part. I reckon that's what y'all want to talk about here today. To put this thing together. To put a little Lumbee child in the best home you can put him in, or her in. Make sure that home, and I just met a couple here, and they're sitting together, husband and wife, foster care parents. You've got to have some kind of heart to be a foster care.
Thousands of kids don't have homes because they're victims of abuse, neglect, or abandonment.
Some of these kids will be adopted into loving homes.
Unfortunately, hundreds will not.
So what happens to the kids who never get adopted?
Imagine being a teenager without a permanent home.
Never having your own room.
Close friends.
A place to hang out.
A place to study.
The courage to dream.
Or even someone to make you feel loved.
And now imagine that teenager as an adult.
You can help these teens by opening your heart and your home. As a mentor, foster parent, or an adoptive parent, thousands of teenagers need your help to be better adults. Inspire, protect, educate, love.
And when we first started talking to DSS, they told us how many foster care parents, I said, what is wrong? But once you get into it, you see the responsibilities that they have there. You can understand why. And I'm so frustrated. If the state's telling us, well, DSS put this child in this home, it's a good home. But that family needs money to survive. That's another issue that needs to be discussed. How to up the payment to the foster care. Because that foster care child should have the same privileges my daughter had when she came up. Amen? Amen. Why shouldn't they have the same privilege and opportunities that any other kids have? That, because they're in foster care program, doesn't make them less of a child. That don't mean their needs is less than other children. So when we see them on drugs and stuff, and we see them walking, let me tell you something my mother always told me. You ride down the road and you see this drunk or homeless person, or this crackhead is what we call them in our community, walk beside the road. My mom always told me one thing. She'd say, son, look, you see that man laying there drunk. I said, yes, ma'am. She says, by the grace of God, there goes you. By God's grace, the reason I'm not sitting on the street homeless. By God's love and grace, preaching to you. By God's grace. That's the reason I'm saying if we get the churches involved behind them, we get God's people behind them, hey, we got no problem this morning. And it can't be done. Jordan Institute, you later. Thank you. You could pick any other tribe in the state. But you chose Lumbee. I give you thanks. And we appreciate everything you want to do. And all the 155,000 Lumbee members this morning, we want to thank Anthony, y'all guys, Deb, for what y'all are doing and what you're going to do for Lumbee people. And y'all just have a great day here. And like I say, look pretty now. You will be on them now. And you too, we will have you there tonight. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.